Hello, my name is Matthew, and some of you may know that I recently went on a trip. I went to Madrid, Spain to visit my girlfriend for the very first time. We've been in a relationship for 2 years. We met because of my little book channel. I live here in the States, she's over in Spain, and finally we made the decision to do it and to meet and we did it, and I flew to Madrid and we met and had the most amazing time, and we even made some videos together while we were there. But I thought maybe it was a good idea to open up a Q&A and just to ask if anybody had any questions about bookish things, but I thought it would probably be mostly about our time in Madrid. And I got a lot of great responses, and I hand wrote them all out because I forgot to print something. I forgot to print it out, and I'm just going to go through it. We'll see how many videos it takes. Thinking about 20-minute installments, and we'll just go from there. So thank you for everybody for all of your support and for all of the questions. I'll just say that in advance. So the first question is from Miss Bliss, and the question is, Hola, Mateo. My question is, since you seem to like Spanish culture, are you planning on learning Spanish in the near future? If so, what are your plans to achieve it? And the second part of that question really is the stickler. What are my plans to achieve it? I have been on and off for years now, not being extremely focused, not being terribly dedicated, but still always having an interest in learning Spanish. My main dilemma is working on it for a while, not feeling like I'm making much progress, and then putting it aside. Weeks go by, I pick it up again, and also that while I'm studying at my house with some of the Spanish books, exercise books, and grammar books that I have, I'm not actively using it, and I know those two elements, the studying and practice, along with actively using the language, are going to be critical in my own development. Andrea, my girlfriend that lives in Spain, she of course is fluent in Spanish and English, and she's already been extremely helpful in my progress. But being in Spain now, going to Madrid, and being totally immersed, surrounded in the Spanish language, everywhere that you look, everything that you hear, really opened my eyes. If if the plan is to spend more and more time in Spain, it no longer is just something that interests me. It's something that will be vital, just necessary in my lifestyle. Things that I can change at the moment, I do have some ideas. Um, Potentially taking some sort of night class is one idea that I've had, and being more disciplined, and now having this experience and knowing much more clearly and much more tangibly that it's something that I want, has changed my mindset. So I have been working on it. My Spanish is not good at all. My English isn't all that great either. Uh, Second question. This is from Julemar. Greetings. Thank you for welcoming questions. Are there places in Spain where people still dance the tango? If so, do you and Andrea, my girlfriend, uh, did you get to go dancing? I love to dance, and someone was offering tango classes near my home. And then a quote. To me, this is what tango is all about. At first, you are unsure, and then magic happens. So beautiful. So, from what I understand, the tango is originated or more closely associated with Latin American countries. But while we were in Spain, we did walk by many places that had flamenco. And we even walked by a shoe shop that was like a great cobbler, a great shoemaker who makes these the most amazing, beautiful little flamenco shoes. And Andrea and I would window shop and stare and admire the beauty of these shoes. And we walked by places where during the daytime there would be callers outside with flyers or just announcing that later on in the day, around, evening, nighttime, there would be flamenco, and they were just promoting their shows. Andrea and I both seemed to prefer to be home at the hotel, but we weren't going out at nighttime. We weren't going to clubs or dances or anything like that. But of course, I would be up for many dances. The next question, Eric Zelensky. Hi Matthew, could you perhaps describe you and Andrea's favorite dining experience? Does one particular meal stand out? And I was amazed by the quality of the food. Of everywhere that we went, every dining experience was just mind blowing. Not only how good the food was, but the freshness and quality, and then I really felt like it was affordable. Everywhere that we went, we got huge amounts of food for what I would consider extremely reasonable prices. If you walk into a cafe and order a beer, they're already bringing food out to you. Andrea and I are both not huge eaters, so we had to learn very quickly to order half portions or just order things that we would share together and still leave the table feeling satiated and full. A few of the meals that we had that are memorable. The first one, which I think might just be the answer to this question, is the squid sandwich, which I had learned. Andrea was telling me that if you go to Madrid, you have to have the squid sandwich, and it's like a sub roll with calamari, fried calamari, just rode on top of the bread. And we went to El Briante, which is near Atocha Boulevard, Calle de Atocha, and it's like the well-known place. It's the place known for the squid sandwich, and it's the first place that we went and had a meal together, and I had never had a squid sandwich but before this, and it was the best. I've never had calamari like this. It was significantly larger and thicker. It was like the size of onion rings, and then the quality of the food was so top notch that all it was perfect bread and high quality fresh fried calamari. So no condiments, no toppings, no oils, just the bread, the squid, and the batter. And it was amazing. One of my favorite dishes, one of our favorite dishes, is something called patatas bravas, which is something Andrea already loved and introduced to me, and they are just these fried potato cubes that are dressed with this very rich, flavorful, spicy sauce. Not in the sense of being fiery hot, but just um, full of spicy flavor. Uh, a few of the other things, we went to a Galician restaurant. The appearance of the Galician restaurant was probably my favorite. It looked like something that was 800 years old and well kept. And there we had octopus, which was amazing. It was a big plate of just roiling coils, the tentacles of octopus with all of the rows of suckers, which was great. Um, and something else is we had two kinds of cold soup. We had gazpacho, and the other one I always had a tough time remembering. It's um, it's a kind of cold soup that has breadcrumbs whizzed into it. And we're out walking all morning, and it's a warm, summery, sunny day in Spain, and we're working up our energy, and we're both just feeling very, very, very hot. And we go into this place and sit down and have these bowls of cold soup that was just so fresh and bright and full of vitamins. And you immediately felt um, like you were just getting like nutritional injections. It was amazing. So a few of the things, but everywhere that we went, the food was just out of this world spectacular. When I left, I weighed myself, and I weighed 148 pounds. And then when I got back, I immediately weighed myself, and I weighed 159 pounds. And while we were there, each day I thought to myself, I'm eating twice as much as I do on any given day. Every single day that I was there, we both were. The food was just amazing. The next question. Um, Literary love. Um, you mentioned thinking about your trip daily since returning. What are your most recurring memories? What do you miss most about Andrea and Spain? Um, my 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 most recurring memories, and the thing that I miss most about traveling to Spain is Andrea. It's just the person. Um, I don't have longing memories of missing the royal palace. I miss Andrea, and it's all the things that you get when you get to be um, there, present in person with someone that you care about deeply, and in person realizing that there's chemistry and connection and a naturalness of a feeling of comfort and safety, um, and things that are very hard to experience in a long-term relationship, like holding hands walking down the sidewalk, or quiet moments at a cafe when neither one of us have very much to say. Laughing spells, things that are just really funny, and then you're just laughing together about something that happened um, in the moment that you both experience. Um, as far as all of the sightseeing, all of the beautiful streets and buildings and parks, gardens, I miss sharing those memories with Andrea. Um, so I miss Andrea. um, Okay, this question is from Andrea. Any fun culture shock stories? And then she says, I had the best time with you in Madrid, and I can't wait to see you again. To Kiro. Um, so we already talked about this in private. Um, and so there was very little that was shocking to me. I found um, a lot of more things in common than differences. Um, the majority of the differences I found more appealing as far as Spanish culture. The one thing that we talked about was on our first encounter. Andrea and I met at the airport, and we had to take a bus to get into the city to where our hotel was. And the bus drivers drive, and we get in the city, and there's a police officer, um, I guess, directing traffic in this traffic circle. And the bus driver thought that the police officer um, did something wrong. And the bus driver has the window open, and in Spanish, of course, I couldn't understand it, and Andrea said she wouldn't repeat what the bus driver said. But essentially, he's yelling out the window, calling the police officer an idiot, and then we drove off. And that is something that you would never see in the States. Just uh, calling a police officer an idiot is something that I can't imagine anybody getting away with. And there were other moments where the city police officers, at least local level city police officers, um, uh, were treated kind of like civil servants or something like that. Something that you can kind of not pay attention to, even when they're giving you um, orders or something. Um, the cleanliness of the city. Every day that we walked around, um, there were civil servants, people in uniform that had these um, mobile wheeled stations that um, pretty much on every street you would see someone just picking up trash and sweeping. I swear at some point we walked down a street where I saw someone mopping the sidewalk to keep everything just so clean. Little things that I found surprising. At a cafe, if you order a Coca-Cola, you get a bottle. They bring out a bottle and pop it open, and you can pour it into a glass. That's very uncommon, at least where I am in the States. You would, if you ordered a Coca-Cola, it would be a fountain drink. Um, the Starbucks that we went to did not have coffee. If you wanted a coffee, you would get an Americano. The only beans that they brewed were espresso beans. You couldn't order a coffee the way that I could order a coffee at the gas station down the street. Um, so I think those are some things. I mean, every day there were every day was full of um, surprises and things like that. So, Andrea, Takiro. This is from Tony. I think maybe this will be the last one. Hi, Matthew. Do you think that talking about such an experience rekindles the original feeling, thus somehow reliving it? And yes, of course, for for my own sake, one of the reasons I even wanted to make the videos and have the Q&As is for my own documentation. The more that I talk about things, um, the, the longer they stay at the forefront of my attention. And already there's all of those details, small little things that each day are harder and harder to recollect. And I want to remember those days as vividly as I can. They were some of the best days of my life. Um, and as far as reliving it, that's going to require additional action. So I don't have to just only have these recollections. There's also feelings of anticipation. So I'll stop this one here, and then we'll start up again. Hopefully we're doing all right. Okay, thank you.